When I moved to Wellington from Christchurch in 2014, it took me 2 weeks to get the stupid grin off my face. Coming from a place where buildings were in ruins to here where I could step out the door and there's bustling cafes, beautiful buildings everywhere, it was wonderful. But then I started worrying a little bit about some of the heritage buildings here. In Christchurch, they'd fallen down and killed a few people. In Wellington, I knew that things were a bit better, that Wellington had been making more progress on strengthening its heritage buildings, but I wanted to find out a little bit more. So, here at the initiative, jointly with one of our members, Deloitte, we released a report looking at the state of heritage buildings in Wellington. Some of it's a bit worrying. While Wellington is well ahead of the game compared to a lot of other cities, we are still sending too few resources to too many buildings. We're trying to protect too much, and a lot of buildings are only of marginal value. So what we found was that building owners can be stuck in some pretty seriously bad situations when it comes to earthquake strengthening. Owners know what they're getting into when they buy a heritage building, and they know that there's going to be costs associated with that. But those costs have gone up considerably from when they would have bought those buildings because earthquake strengthening regulations impose a lot of costs, and especially on heritage buildings where it's really hard to come up with strengthening strategies that maintain historical authenticity. Council can be a bit too reluctant to allow trade-offs between cheaper reinstatement methods and preserving 100% of the heritage character. Some owners then are in particularly bad situations, especially ones when they're in unit titles, and it's difficult to coordinate mortgage financing across multiple low-income owners of a building that's only of dubious value to start with. Wellington needs to focus. We need to have probably a larger pool of public money, but devoted to a smaller number of buildings to make sure that those buildings that are of most importance to all of us, the ones that we really enjoy walking by and that make the community a really great place to be, that those buildings of most importance have the funding that's necessary to make sure they're strengthened and don't fall down and kill people when the Wellington's earthquake comes. And some of the other buildings, well, we have to make some hard choices, because if we don't make those choices, the next earthquake will make those choices for us, and those won't be pretty. We need some policy changes.